Greetings, EMS students, staff, and families. Mr. Gallagher here with an important update regarding our reopening and our shift to Phase 2. As you are aware, Phase 2 officially begins on Monday, November 16th, with Superintendent Radlick confirming its status Wednesday, the 11th. If you are viewing this video, it means that she has in fact confirmed our status and our intention to move to Phase 2. And I'd like to just walk you through once again some of the changes that you can expect to see and some of the things that you can expect to not change. On screen now is the continuation of our 4-hour in-school day. It remains a 7-period day. Those period times are not changing at all for those of you that have been participating in our in-school hybrid program. The one thing that is worth pointing out, if you are a 7th grader, your study hall has been moved from 4th to 5th period. If you are an 8th grader, your study hall has been moved from 5th down to 6th period. So 7th graders, you're going to stay in your core 3 room. 8th graders, you're going to stay in your core 4 room. The reason for this shift was we wanted to make sure that our 7th and 8th graders who participate in band, orchestra, and choir still have access to the directors, which must also provide instruction up at the high school. So this gives them enough time to work within the high school's full day schedule that they're about to implement for Phase 2 and still get down to Eisenhower in time to work with our 7th and 8th graders. You will notice that afternoon office hours continues. Instead of a blue day and a gold day, students have access to their teacher every day, Tuesday through Friday. Just make sure you reach out in advance so you get the correct joining info and so that you have access to the teacher when you need them at a time where they are not also working with another student. Virtual Mondays, I just want to make sure we clarify period 4. If you look at your Genesis schedule, it's lunch for everybody. We want to make sure band, orchestra, and choir can still access students on virtual Mondays. And certainly in the event that we have virtual more than just Mondays, we want to have this all ironed out. So if you are a 7th grader who participates in band, orchestra, and choir, you might meet with your director from 10:45 to 11:10. Otherwise, just have some lunch, take a break. You're an 8th grader. You might meet with your director of band, orchestra, and or choir from 11:10 to 11:35. Again, if you don't have, if you're not participating in Bach or you don't have an appointment that day with your director, go ahead and take a lunch break and get yourself ready for the afternoon. As you are aware, particularly in the 7th grade, there are several changes to our teaming model. We were running only 2 teams in 7th grade for the first marking period, and now we're excited to welcome back and reactivate Team 7-3. So we now have 3 teams running at both grade levels. Of course, you know, with the upside being having all of our staff here with us, the downside is a lot of students are going to experience some new teachers. Please be patient. Please allow your teachers some time to get to know you and you get to know them, students, and you will find, you know, even if you do change your teachers, you're just moving from one great teacher and one great team to another one. And we really do believe that you will quickly find that to be the case. Students, we have once again produced a template that you can use to help keep track of where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there. This is not only helpful for in-building hybrid students, but even our 100% virtual students who are now going to be streaming into the same classes that are happening here in school. As I'm sure you noticed, the bell schedule in your Genesis, the times are a little bit off and they're going to continue to be a little bit off. It's just another one of those pieces of flexibility that we need you to bear with us. But we believe that this resource is very helpful. Parents, you can go on the EMS website and right on the home page under important information, there's a link where you can click on and actually print these out once you know your marking period 2 classes. So a change that I do want to emphasize here, for those of you that are continuing or switching to 100% virtual learning, attendance is going to work a little bit differently moving forward. And again, this all takes effect on Monday, the 16th of November. But if you are a 100% virtual student, you need to be present in your homeroom by the time our first bell rings at 7:58. Now, when I say present, I mean in the Google Meet that your teacher has set up for you in advance. At 7:58, the bell will ring. We will do the pledge. There will be school announcements brought to you by student council. And if your teacher calls your name for the purpose of attendance, we need you to say here. We would prefer that your camera is on, and we will have to mark you as absent if you are not present via Google Meet at the time of attendance being taken. If that happens, you'll get your parents will get a phone call as part of our automated Honeywell system, and they will have the opportunity to, number one, ensure that you are safe and that you were not present for a particular reason. And then, our team will either change your status or confirm that you are in fact absent and unable to learn that day. Hybrid students, you're going to keep doing what you've been doing. You're going to walk in off the bus or from the car line. You're going to go straight to your homeroom. No lockers. We're going to continue to keep those closed. And you can use that morning arrival time before 7:58. You can use your phone. You can work on your homework. You can study for a test, listen to music. But once the bell rings at 7:58, the learning day has very much begun, and that phone will stay away for the remainder of the day until dismissals. Desks are going to look kind of similar to what you've been used to, but those of you that had two desks pushed together are now going to see those things separated as we maximize the amount of square foot that we have available to spread students out. If you do find yourself face-to-face with a teacher, you might see that we're using some plexiglass dividers to keep everybody safe. Your teachers are still going to encourage you to spread out as much as you can, either in the classroom or even outside or in the gym or the auditorium, ELC. And parents and staff, please rest assured that all of our circulation units, our univents, we call them, have installed in them an ionizer, which is a air purification mechanism. So we're appreciative of that. Of course, we still have the sanitizer stations and those things as well. In the halls between classes, we're going to have double the bodies than we're used to, kids. Please stay to the right. You've done a great job with this. You need to keep doing a great job with this. Keep your distance. If you're going to turn left to get to a classroom, wait till a group passing by has indeed passed by. If you're needing to use the restroom, you got to go check in at class first before you just pop in the restroom. That's just how we make sure that every kid makes it to the next class safely. And then your teacher will certainly give you a pass. We are increasing the capacity in our restrooms to 2 students, but it's always a good practice to just knock before you enter. And if there's already a couple kids in there, just hang in there for a second, and I'm sure they'll wrap up and be on their way, and then you can jump in. We are very excited to have our winter sports season up and running and expanded extracurricular activities as well. As far as sports, those are officially going to begin on or around December 4th. Right now, you really need to make sure your physicals are done. You can't even try out for girls or boys basketball or wrestling unless you have an updated annual physical from your physician. So if you're watching this and you're excited about doing basketball, you need to make sure that you've got your physical done, kids, all right? As far as our clubs like strategic gaming, drama club, STEAM club, all of those good things, we're going to be putting together a video in the next week or so to make you aware of all of the different options that we have. There's a bulletin board outside of the Loy and more news on that from our teachers. But parents, it's really important to know we're running a 4-hour day, which means our school lets out around noon, but clubs don't take place until after the school day is complete, which is 2:30. So if your child wants to be on the basketball team or the wrestling team or join one of our clubs, you're going to have to provide them or ensure their safe arrival to school, and then also pick up after the practice or the activity or the game or whatever it may be. So there is no late bus running. We just want to make sure that that is clear. We're counting on you to get them here and get them back home safely. Pardon me. Greetings. It always likes to play on its own. All right, so the timeline. Here's what we're looking to take place on kind of a day-by-day basis. So today is Wednesday, the 11th. If you're watching this, it means the superintendent has confirmed that we are proceeding to phase 2. At the same time, your teachers, students are currently putting grades in Genesis for your marking period 1 report cards. Once they have completed that, guidance and administration are able to go into Genesis, and start building your marking period 2 schedules. Right now, if you go into Genesis and you look at your classes for marking period 2, all of that stuff could change, especially if you are a 7th grader. So please wait till we send out a Honeywell. You're going to hear from me saying you're good to go. Check through the parent portal if you're a parent. Teachers, you'll be able to go in via Genesis and see your course rosters. But anything you see before that Honeywell is very much subject to change. Of course, Monday the 16th is our official start to phase 2 and the second marking period. But with all of these moving parts, kids, you're going to want to expect asynchronous learning activities on Monday the 16th. That means you're not going to see a lot of Google Meets live with your teachers. In some cases, your teachers may not even find out you're in the class until late Friday night, early Friday morning. There's just too many moving parts to this transition that we're trying to negotiate to guarantee that you'll get live instruction on Monday the 16th. The good news is the next day, Tuesday the 17th, our in-person learners are going to be all together for day 1 of phase 2. And our 100% virtual learners, by then you'll be on Google Classroom with all of your classes. You will know where you need to be and when you need to be there. Your teachers will have shared Google Meet joining information so that you can be present, not only for attendance, right, in homeroom, but all of your classes throughout the day. I want to point out that here is a link to that write-in schedule template that Mrs. Swain was kind enough to create for students, and it really, we really strongly recommend you take a look at it. The times you see in Genesis are again going to be a little bit off compared to what's actually happening in the building. So this write-in schedule is a great resource for you to consider using, whether you're here in the building or continuing or shifting to 100% virtual learning for phase 2. So please take a look at that. I'm going to close with the same key points that I've been closing with since September. We're so proud to be here. We're so proud to be open, to stay open, to proceed with phase 2. We wouldn't be able to do that if students and teachers weren't working together with the supportive families at home to keep kids healthy, keep each other safe. We know what to do, right? We know we need to wash our hands and keep them sanitized frequently. Keep wearing that face covering, the single most important step to keep you safe and keep others safe. Keep your distance from others. Your teachers are going to, again, utilize all the spaces in and around the school to help you with that. If you feel a cough or a sneeze coming on, excuse yourself. Try to sneeze into your arm or elbow pit. And feel free to help out with disinfecting around the room. You may have seen that teachers have a spray that you're certainly welcome to help them with. If you're not feeling well, students, if you're not feeling well, let your parents know, hey, I'm not feeling so great. Take an extra day or two to make sure everything's okay. Accept responsibility for your own personal behavior. Teachers are doing it. Administrators are doing it. If anybody's not feeling well, we are certainly encouraging an exercise in caution. And we'll continue to take kids outside as much as we can. Of course, the weather will eventually turn, but it certainly has been nice this week. So that's it. Again, we're so proud to be considering expanding the amount of time that we're inviting kids into school. And we're also really proud to be merging together not only our blue and our gold kids, but also our 100% virtual students so that we can once again be one building, one family, and let's keep this going. Thanks, everybody. Take care.